Good evening, Sacred Grounds.
Good evening.
This one's called This Little Piggy. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. No, it's not a gender issue thing. It just happened that way. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. But this is America. You would think that there'd be plenty of roast beef to go around. But then again, this is America, and things aren't divided well. The other little piggy cried, wee, 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 all the way home. He was the lucky one. The sanitized version of this is how the corporate media reported the story. I know better. I was there. Yes, that little piggy did go to the market, but he was never seen again. His name was Fred. I'm not sure that the one who stayed home fared much better. I was there at Arby's when the third little piggy came in and ordered roast beef. The kid behind the cash register was sore amazed, first, that a pig could speak English, and secondly, that his grammar was better than the cashier's. The rest of the customers were uneasy. They were not used to seeing one menu item eat another menu item right in front of them. Some of my minimalist friends claimed that there were really only two piggies. One who went to the market, ordered roast beef, and cried wee, wee, wee all the way home, and one who stayed home and had none. I'm here to tell you that they are wrong. The little piggy who claimed he had none. I saw him walk into the dim sum place on Noriega. I saw him walk out with a pork bun. He got halfway down the block eating it and then stopped. He looked down at the bun and he said, "Aw, man, this tastes like Fred." I met the little piggy who cried wee, wee, wee all the way home. He did that because he discovered what happened to the first piggy and to a lot of his other relatives. He was going back to tell the others. I had coffee with him at the Sacred Grounds Cafe. After he'd calmed down a bit, his name is Carl. He asked me if I had known about the tying of piggies' left rear legs in a line and hoisting them upside down on a wheel and cutting their throats one by one to feed America. I said, yes, it's not something that I was proud of. It was something that my culture did. But I did like a little bacon in my sandwich. He looked at me accusingly and asked, what happens when they run out of piggies? Will the cafes feature cold, thinly sliced poet on a choice of sourdough or ciabatta bread? Yeah. I looked back at him and asked, with the federal government shut down and no FDA inspectors on the job, how would they know that real poet was being served? The government doesn't know what real poetry is, said Carl, so it doesn't make any difference. It's just a label. He looked up at me and said, you know, you're not so safe either. Since my eyes were opened, I've noticed that your species is split into two parts, and that one part, the much smaller one, the very, very, very rich one, is feasting on the much larger part that contains the rest of you. It's pretty amazing to me, but then it was also pretty amazing that my brothers let their legs get tied to a wheel and got hoisted upside down in a line. In the underground, I heard rumors that the Koch brothers are after you, so watch your back. I heard you're going to be 70 soon. Damn, that's amazing. None of my relatives made it anywhere near that. I saw Teddy stacking up the chairs for the night, and I knew that it was time to go. You got a place to stay, I asked. I can't go home, said Carl, but I split my time between the temples and the mosques. I feel pretty safe there because no one there wants to eat me. I avoid Chinatown altogether because I don't want to spend my afterlife embedded in sweet and sour sauce. And the Catholics, one of them offered me a job one time. The job was to sit out in the sun at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. He wanted me to eat a bag of raisins before the job began. Sometimes Alan Harris lets me stay at his place downtown. I don't know why, but I feel safe there, even though he doesn't. Sometimes the walls melt and it freaks him out. Alan drives a cab and we make bets using imaginary money about which of us will get his throat cut first. Teddy finished stacking up the chairs. As Carla and I were about to separate, he talked about the value of negative role models. He said, when the wrong paths are so well illuminated, it lets you know that the right paths are somewhere else. As he disappeared into the foggy night, he said, it's not what happens in life, it's how you handle it. Thank you.